Hey YouTube, what's going on? I hope that you're doing super well and you're having a great start to your week. We are already at the end of February and the beginning of March. Time is flying by, and that means the NFL league year is on the brink of starting once again. We have Combine Week this week. We've got NFL tampering in 2 weeks and the new league year in 17 days. And what a time to be alive as we continue to talk about the New York Jets and what they can do this offseason to get to that competitive level that we all are dying for them to be at. Now, last week, I talked about the Jets' in-house offensive free agents. Now, the defense, who's going to be set free? What's their free agent status? And what is the verdict on whether they're going to be a Jet for life or not? Without further ado, let's get into it, and thanks for tuning in again. So according to Sport Track, the Jets have a total of 23 free agents. 8 of them are on the defensive side of the ball. Now, if you missed my first video where I talked about the offensive free agents, feel free to click right here on this little hot link or in the link down in the description. Now, first on the list of our defensive free agents is one of the longest tenured players on the team, safety Marcus Maye. He was drafted in 2017. He was the second half of the fan favorite safety duo with Jamal Adams, and we know how that story ended. Now, Maye and the Jets had an opportunity to get a contract extension after the 2020 season, but the Jets ended up franchise tagging him, but were still unable to come to terms to a deal. So it's already off on a bad foot. He played the season under the franchise tag at $10.6 million. Now, the franchise tag salary is determined by the highest average of the players at that specific position. So we got a nice payday for 1 year, but it's only 1 season guaranteed. And his season was cut short with an Achilles injury against the Colts on November 4th. So he only played in 6 games, and he finished the season with 42 tackles, 26 of them solo, 1 sack, and 2 pass deflections. Now, Maye in the Jets situation honestly seems to be on the brink of an end, and there's a few factors for this. Number 1, his contract and franchise tag situation played out really poorly. You would have thought after they traded away Jamal Adams that they would give that opportunity for him to get the extension that he wanted, and it didn't really work out that way. I don't think there's great relations between the Jets camp and Marcus Maye's camp. Number 2, his injury and his age. An Achilles injury is obviously one of the worst injuries an athlete can suffer. But at the same time, he's going to be 29 by the time free agency starts, with his birthday in a couple of days in March. The Jets are in the middle of a youth movement. Maye, despite being a solid safety, is getting up there already. And to be honest, the Jets may feel like, hey, we can get some better and younger at this position, which leads to number 3. I think the Jets will look to spend this money elsewhere and improve the safety spot. He's a nice player, not a great player. He doesn't have any Pro Bowls, doesn't have any All-Pros. He does have some interceptions and tackles and nice plays here, but we do need the durability. We do need the upgrade on the back end of the defense. And to be honest, I don't think Maye's going to provide that. And I think he deserves a fresh start. He's been here for a long time and endured a lot of losing, and he's played it well and played like a pro. And I wish him the best. And his verdict is he's not a Jet for life, but I wish him the best. And see you later, Marcus. Number 2, Jarrad Davis. Linebacker, he was a pickup last year in free agency on a 1-year deal, and he missed time with injury as well. So it's obvious that the Jets had really bad injury situations, as Davis got hurt a couple days after Lawson got hurt for the whole year against the Packers, where he sprained his ankle. Now, he played in 9 games, he started in 5, and he ended his 2021 campaign with 22 tackles, 15 of them solo. The Jets' run defense was pitiful last season, and the linebacker play was a large part of that. Davis just may have seemed like he was still recovering from the injury and just really struggling to get his speed and his conditioning up. He was a little bit slow, a little bit laggy, and I don't think he's going to be a big part of our future this year. So I think it's going to be an easy move for the Jets to say goodbye. So verdict, not a Jet for life. Wish you the best, JD, and adios. Now, number 3, Lamarcus Joiner. Another one plagued by the injuries. I loved this signing when we first got him. He's versatile. He can play slot. He can play nickel. He can play in the safety. He can play anywhere on the field. And I really was excited about him and Marcus Maye together. But that pairing didn't even last past the first week of the season. Joiner tore his triceps against the Panthers. I think it was probably the first quarter. But he does know the defense. He's versatile. But again, like I said with Marcus Maye, the youth movement. The Jets got some safety options. They got Ashton Davis, Jason Pinnock, Elijah Riley, and the free agent market and the draft promising for the safety position. And I don't see a situation where he's signed back. Safety will be revamped this offseason, and Joiner will not be a part of that future. So the verdict, I wish it lasted longer than a half of football. Not a Jet for life. See you later, Joiner. Nathan Shepard, rotational defensive lineman, 3rd round pick. Mike Mchagden blessed us with Nathan Shepard in the 3rd round of 2018. He got so many snaps this last year, it was kind of mind-blowing to me. The Jets do a lot of defensive rotations on the line, and over a 17-game season, he averaged 38.5% of defensive snaps. That's a little bit too high, because in this season, he finished with 6 penalties, no sacks, 28 tackles. That's not what we need out of a rotating defensive lineman to have more penalties than sacks. Like May, he will be 29 this season, and the Jets will be continuously investing in the defensive line. There's no reason to give any big money to Nathan Shepard. He does not deserve it. Thankfully, we won't have to see him anymore, but I do wish him the best. So the verdict is sayonara. Number 5, Evelyn Guidry Jr., exclusive rights free agent. He's a cornerback. He's a young corner, not the greatest corner to grace the field for sure. He is versatile though. Plays inside, plays outside, he's got amazing speed, plays on specials. He got beat up by Stephon Diggs, which is kind of unfair to him, but he does contribute in some ways, and he's cheap to bring back. So the Jets keep one of the young players in the mix. He can still develop and grow. Who knows? Low risk. Welcome back for round 3. Number 6, Tim Ward. Exclusive rights free agents, defensive end. And to be honest, I don't know much about him. I know he was claimed off of waivers early in the year in September. He played in 11 games. He was inactive for 6. He ended up with 7 tackles and 5 solos. Not really impactful when he is in. I barely noticed him on the field. He rotated as well. 2-year player, still a young player. Could be an upside signing. Not sure, but hey, he's exclusive rights free agents. The Jets can bring him back on the cheap, and I could see him contributing to the specials again next year. And well, welcome back, Tim Ward. The verdict is you are back for year 2. Number 7, Foley Fatsukasi. Unrestricted free agent, defensive tackle. Big Foley, 6th round draft pick of 2018. Mike Mchagden actually got something right. Now, he's paid the solid career and reputation for him as he was a team captain this past season. Very vocal, very hardworking. And in 2021, he started 15 games for us. And he ended the year with 46 tackles, 25 of them being solo, 5 tackles for a loss, and 6 quarterback hits. Now, Rich Cimini's reporting he wants around $8 million a year, which is a considerable number considering where the Jets are in their free agency standpoint and their rebuild. I don't think the Jets are going to pay out money to guys like Foley that are rotating on defensive line and not getting a lot of sacks. You don't really want to pay $8 million to a rotating lineman. And I think the Jets are going to be in a spot where they're going to have to let him go as much as they like the player. And I like him too. But Foley deserves some money. He does work hard. He's an impactful guy when he's in. But I could see the Jets looking to extending Quinnen Williams in the next couple of years, and they can't really allocate money towards maintaining an interior defensive lineman that can only really stop the run, can't really rush the passer. So I would love to see Foley back, but the only way I see him back is if he tests the market and it's not hot and it's not good enough, and he comes back maybe on a 1-year deal for $4 to $5 million. Well, it's very difficult to say this, but the verdict on him is you're not a Jet for life. If the money's right, maybe. But Foley, I wish you the best. Get your bag and keep doing it. Number 8, Kyle Phillips, restricted free agent. The former undrafted free agent had a shortened season this year. He was on the PUP list with an ankle injury that he suffered in 2020. He was solid in 7 games. 1 sack, 15 tackles, 9 of them being solo, 2 tackles for a loss, and 3 quarterback hits. Now, him being a restricted free agent makes it a lot easier for the Jets to bring him back. And hopefully he continues to improve, stay healthy, and work his way in the rotation. It's a no-brainer, easy return. When you have a guy that's a restricted free agent and is cheap and is contributing on the defensive line and does have some numbers of, and has some moments of producing when he's given the opportunity, well, you can only add more. So the verdict is, welcome back, Kyle Phillips. Will he be a sleeper breakout candidate for next year? Remains to be seen. Now, to wrap up the video, if everything pans out as predicted here, the Jets only retain 3 defensive free agents from their defense, and they allow May, Davis, Fatsukasi, and Shepard and Joiner walk in free agency. Now, who's going to play defense for this team next year? It's going to be a fun scenario to play out. Like I said, the draft is looking pretty good for defensive players, and so is the free agent market. Wonder if the Jets are going to trade for somebody. So who do you think the Jets are going to get into this offseason? Who would you bring back in terms of our own defensive free agents? And who do you want to see back next year? Thanks for watching. And until next time, where we talk about the big free agents that we want to target, be well and God bless.